Alrighty. Well, how is everybody? Let's just say that, Disc Replay definitely hit the spot again. Um, but also, I also decided to throw in here some orders that I've also done online as well. Those finally came in. So we're actually going to do this thing in two parts. So this is basically just the Black Friday 2024 overhaul. So, first thing we're going to do is, first thing is basically cartoons. Yeah. Then the rest is all sci-fi / horror. So, so part one, cartoons galore, Black Friday overhaul, right here in the Media Files. Let's see what we got this year. Alright, welcome back. So, let's just say I'm kind of excited about these first three. We're going to get these right off the bat because, this show is basically what got me kind of hooked into cartoons because I was only about 3 years old when I first saw this show, maybe 3 or 4. And, what can we say? It's an absolute childhood classic. We've got the complete classic series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The entire 80s run of the original series, all complete, and it's not that newer edition that just recently came out either. This is the original set. Now, I tried to get the original series way back when, but I just kind of lost count after Volume 3 because there were so many different ones. I didn't know which one it was. Then they finally released this thing, so thank you, Walmart. So, yeah. We'll just set it down here for now. Alright. Then up next, speaking of Walmart, this is something I have been wanting for a very long time since it was announced, and I'm glad to finally have this middle series between the three major ones. We have here Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Collection. This is the complete 2003 series, along with the TV movie Turtles Forever. Now, I don't know if this one is the widescreen edition or if it's the... here it says movie presented in widescreen. Yeah, okay, good. They fixed it for this. So, there you go. Can't beat that. And, wouldn't you have it? I also got the complete series of the 2012 version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, I know they have released Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first series, but I think I may just hold off on that until the show itself has run its course, and then I will get that. That way they're all consistent and it's all complete. But it's great to actually finally own all three of those, which is great. But we're nowhere near done. So let's get through the brief anime and the DreamWorks stuff that we got here. So first off, we got here another complete series. We've got Afro Samurai, the complete series with, of course, Samuel L. Jackson starring in the lead role. Now, I remember seeing this on, I think it was on Cartoon Network during the Midnight Run era or whatever, and I didn't think it was... couldn't remember how many episodes it was or whatever, but apparently there's only 5. So it's actually cool to finally have this because I have Resurrection, actually. And then, since you probably saw my How to Train Your Dragon live trailer reaction, I found the first one on Blu-ray. I've got the second one, but I could not find the third. I was glad to actually finally see this, and I'll probably might watch it this weekend, and we will see. How awesome is that? Alrighty, now let's go back to the old ways of cartoons, the very old school 60s, and of course, obviously I never grew up with that stuff. I mean, I did, but it was all through reruns, basically through like Cartoon Network, and of course the channel Boomerang, if those of you who remember that. But here we have the complete series of Speed Racer. All 52 episodes of the original anime series. What can we say? This is just classic, old school anime. And well, let's just say if it wasn't for the Wachowskis ever, for them watching this show, then we would have never gotten the movie. So, what can we say though? But it's such a good show, though. Really, really good. All right, and then we also got Space Ghost and Dino Boy, the complete series. Yeah, this is the original run, of course, of the Space Ghost series from the 60s. And, of course, many years later, Cartoon Network would continue. Well, at first they would not only continue the series, but it's more of kind of like a spoof, kind of, really, where they took the characters of Brak and Zorak and Space Ghost, and they made them into kind of like late-night talk shows with Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and then, of course, there was the Cartoon Planet series that was on Cartoon Network. So, gonna try to hunt down Space Ghost Coast to Coast, so we'll see. Alrighty, so let's jump ahead about a couple decades. And let's just say we found ourselves some 80s cartoons. Oh, yeah. Now, mind you, I do have the original series of this show that I'm about to show you of the character of He-Man. I have that complete series. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere. But I finally have the companion series, She-Ra, the original 80s series. How cool is that? So, nice to finally own both of those original shows from the 80s. And considering the fact that I never really watched this when I was younger, I knew of it because of the action figures, but I really had no idea what it was. And lo and behold, after watching some on YouTube so many years later, I'm finally glad to own this. This was actually on sale for like $20 on Amazon, so I'm like, that's dirt cheap because, hey. So there you go. And then, well, what can we say? If you have watched He-Man and She-Ra, you also watched this. You got to have yourself the Thundercats. Yeah, the complete series featuring, of course, everybody's favorite leader, Lion-O, and, of course, loads of other characters, including Mumra. So it'll be fun to actually watch this original series because a friend of mine in college, we will watch this all the time. And but then again, after that, though, I haven't watched a whole lot of it since. So, and then, well, let's just say that you watched He-Man, you watched She-Ra, you watched Thundercats. You got to get the other big name series. Am I right? Of course, that would be G.I. Joe, the complete first series. Yeah. Unfortunately, they also did have the Foot Locker set there, but that thing was like $75. I'm like, ugh. And so what can I say though? They had this thing marked down for like $10. One of them was $10. The other one was like, I don't know, like 30 or something. And I'm like, I'll take that one. So, yeah, couldn't beat that. What can I say? Finally glad to own this show. I love me some G.I. Joe. I love it because you probably saw that I had that I got the special edition movie. Now the funny thing is that I think the Foot Locker set actually is both Series 1 and Series 2 together, but there's a space that is missing for the G.I. Joe movie. But that way you can put it in with whatever you want. But I'm like, I enjoy looking at the movie itself. So, alrighty, let's see here. So, going back here from the 80s, well, kind of the 80s, late 70s, mid 80s, we've got the DC Superheroes, the Filmation Adventures Volume 2, which has several episodes from different eras of the Super Friends and other DC related comics. So that was fun. So now let's jump ahead from the 80s into the 90s. Now I kind of hit the mom and pop store for this. This is like a few days ago, and lo and behold, now I did have a few of them, but they had all 5 with the slip covers. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and repurchase the ones that I already own. I'll sell those and I'll keep these. But of course, I'm talking about probably one of the coolest 90s shows of all time. We've got ourselves the X-Men series. Yeah, so we've got Volume 1 with the slipcover. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. And, of course, Volume 5. So there you go. You couldn't beat that. I mean, that was classic. Now, it would be great if we could actually get the Spider-Man show and the Hulk and all that stuff over here. But, nope. Licensing rights and yada, yada, yada. That's all over there. You have to get all those in the UK, unfortunately. So, I was like, well, let me see what else there is. So I'm kind of browsing around. And mind you, almost everything that was in here, it was either, like, for sets, was like buy one, get one free. So pretty much half of this stuff is free. So I'm not going to complain hardly at all. So then up next, we've got, since I showed you that I got She-Ra, they have this marked for like $1. I'm like, okay, $3.33, and then it would actually be $1. But we've got He-Man, the Masters of the Universe Complete Series. Now this is I think this is the Netflix CG edition, which is fairly new. This one I have not watched yet, but at least I think it's on Netflix. Well, obviously I know that Revelation is on there, but this one looks pretty cool. And so yeah, there we go. And then, well, I had Thundercats. Now I did have, or actually it is around, it's in a tote somewhere, but I do have book 1 of these. But I have finally managed to find Thundercats, the 2012 reboot series. Book 2 and Book 3. So yeah, so all 3 of them. So the revamped series is now complete, and I'm loving this stuff right now. That's awesome. And then they also had, kind of like a revamped series. I think it only lasted for once. I think it only lasted for one season. But so here we have season 1, volumes 1 and 2 of G.I. Joe Renegades. Yeah, so we got more G.I. Joe to add to the collection, and that looks pretty cool. Now I've seen what is it? There's like an anime or something like that they made, and that was pretty intense, and I liked that. And then we're kind of somewhat going a little bit further in time here. Let's kind of somewhat go back. No, you know what? We'll save those for later. Let's see here. What else do we got here? Okay, then up next we've got ourselves something from Cartoon Network here. We've got season 1 of Sealab 2021. This was on Adult Swim. Kind of a throwback to like those old 60s and 70s cartoons, and I've never actually seen this, but I heard it's really funny, and I'm trying to get this sticker off, but as I tried to peel it off, it's starting to wants to take the thing with it, and I'm like, I'll just leave it. So yeah, there we go. That's sad, unfortunately. Alrighty, and now we've got to add some stuff to the DC animated universe. First off, we have here on a 4K, because that's all that they have, but luckily it also does come with the Blu-ray. We've got Batman Soul of the Dragon. Yeah, how cool is that? I have not seen this one yet, so it'll be interesting to see where this one goes and whatnot. And then I have also got Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. This is like one of the only ones left that I don't really have on Blu-ray yet. There's still a couple more that I need to hunt down. But I did actually have a whole bunch of them on DVD, and I ended up selling those because, well, I've got all of these on Blu-ray now. So, use the higher quality bit, am I right? So then I also found The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. I just need to find Part 2 on Blu-ray. Now, I do have the deluxe edition, but, for completion's sake, I want to get Part 2. And, so there we go. And then, finally, last 2 things. I have been wanting these ever since they were announced. I waited and waited and waited. And, well, let's just say, selling stuff helps. So here we have on Blu-ray. Let's just say I grew up with this show. I still have my original DVD sets, but it's definitely time to upgrade. But of course, I won't sell those original DVD sets because I love them too much. But here we have on Blu-ray Batman, the complete animated series. You know, God bless Kevin Conroy for voicing this character, making everybody's childhood awesome. And on top of that, I love the fact that this set not only comes with just the complete series, but it also has Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero on Blu-ray, and which is awesome because Mask of the Phantasm, I never owned that on Blu-ray, never could find it. Now I do have it, and I'm definitely gonna watch this thing this weekend because, yeah, I love me some Batman. And finally, to go along with that, we've got the sequel series that nobody ever really thought would actually take off, but it did. We've got Batman Beyond, the complete series on Blu-ray. So yeah, that's really cool. I love having both of these shows. And on top of that, it actually does come also with Return of the Joker, the director's cut, which is kind of cool. And I think I actually have the theatrical version as well. But yeah. So yeah, that's just part one, folks. I mean, come on. There's a lot more. So with that, stay tuned for part two, and we will see you in a bit.